Hello students, I am Vishal Chaurasia from CSE Department, Sistek Gandhinagar. As we all know, because of the corona there is lockdown, so we are starting virtual classes of cloud computing, in which we start with the unit third, that is cloud management and virtual technology. Before we move on the third unit, we will take a quick recap of our first and second unit. In first unit, we discussed about the historical development and vision of cloud computing, characteristics of cloud computing reference model and cloud computing environment, cloud service requirement and different kind of cloud application, in which we covered the ECG analysis in the cloud, protein structure prediction, gen expression, satellite image processing, CRM, and ERP, and last is social application. These are the application in which cloud computing is used. Basically, the first unit cover the introduction of cloud computing. What is cloud computing? Advantages, disadvantages, benefits, and characteristics of cloud computing. In second unit, we talk about the cloud computing architecture. Cloud computer architecture is given by the NIST, that is National Institute of Standards and Technology. Second unit covered the types of cloud. Different types of cloud. First is private cloud, second public cloud, third is community cloud, and fourth is hybrid cloud. Next topic of second unit was the cloud interoperability, standard scalability, and fault tolerance. Cloud solution provide the cloud ecosystem and cloud business process management, cloud service management, and cloud offering provide the cloud analytics, testing under control, and virtual desktop infrastructure. These topics are covered in the first and second unit. So we have the understanding of the what is cloud and what is the architecture of cloud. Now we are talking about the cloud management. So why we need to cloud management? First we have to understand what is cloud management. Suppose you are a provider, you are a cloud provider, and the basic cloud components are cloud provider and the consumer. Provider who provide these services, consumer who consume these services. These two makes the cloud computing environment. So the cloud management is the management of the services which is provided by the cloud. So that if there is no management, if you have a lots of services, lots of software, lots of data available on your available with the provider, but you have not a proper management, then your system is not reliable, then your cloud computing model is not reliable. So there are few points in a cloud computing we will understand with the help of block diagram. There is a business and function vision. Second is a delivery of source, delivery of services, that is vendor. And third is architecture, in which cover we architecture, planning and design. Architecture we discussed in the second unit, planning and design we discuss in the fourth unit, in which we talk about the cloud security. So it is the basic relation between the business and the delivery of services. This is the contract facilitation. What is the relation between the business and the delivery of services? This is the contract facilitation, that is we discussed in the class, that is SLA, service level agreement. There is an agreement between the provider and the consumer. On the basis of the agreement, consumer provide the services to the consumer, and there is a relationship building between the architecture and the business model. Now talk about the this challenges of cloud management. Challenges of cloud management are the recruitment and retention, technology function, and third is need to organize tasks across the infrastructure. The first is a recruitment and retention. As we know, the technology is changing so rapidly in cloud computing we are talking about the technology, but the technology is changing so rapidly, so our the cloud management process should be changed according to the technology. So the recruitment and retention, new technology is adopting by the cloud provider, so the retention of that services will be depend on the need of the consumer. As soon as the consumer is needed that service should be retained by the provider. Second is a technology function. Technology function is talk about the dependency of technology, how people use the technology. Next is the need to organize the task across the infrastructure. As we know, in our first unit we discussed about the cloud computing in which the data is available across the world. When our data is available across the world, it need to manage on different location, डिफरेंट लोकेशन पर हमारा डेटा सेव है, तो हमें उसे ऑर्गेनाइज करने के लिए टास्क फोर्स चाहिए जो कि उसको ऑर्गेनाइज करे डिफरेंट लोकेशन पे. विद द हेल्प ऑफ डायग्राम वी अंडरस्टैंड द चैलेंजेस ऑफ क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग. इट कवर्ड द सिक्योरिटी रिक्वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट, एप्लीकेशन एंड वर्कलोड मैनेजमेंट, virtual infrastructure management. This is provided by the many vendors, but the physical infrastructure management is provided by the few vendor, because physical infrastructure management is consist of a low standards or no standards, whereas the service request management, application and workload management and the virtual infrastructure management contains the strong standards. So these are the challenges of cloud management. Now we talk about the cloud management task. These are the handwritten notes which I uploaded on Moodle. So first is the cloud management task. We will understand with the block diagram. Cloud management task. First is a audit and system and backup. In it is required to timely audit the backup to ensure you can successfully restore randomly selected files of a different user. Backup can perform for your system should be reliable. If you don't provide a backup, your system is not reliable. So what are the ways for providing a backup? Backup file by the company from the one side computer to the disk that reside within the cloud. Second, backing up file by the cloud provider. Third is it is necessary to know if the cloud provider has encrypted the data, who has access to the that data, and if the backup is taken at different location, you must know where. Second is system data flow. System data flow, the manager should develop the diagram describing the details process flow. This process flow will describe the movement of company's data throughout the cloud solution. Third is the beware of vendor lock-in. This is the manager must know the procedure to exist from the service of the particular cloud provider. There must exist procedure enabling the manager to export the company's data to a file and importing it to the another provider. There is no lock-in situation. Provider should be changed according to the need of the consumer. If consumer is not satisfied with the particular provider, it can switch to the another provider. There is a no lock-in situation. Knowing the third, fourth point is that knowing the provider security procedure. The manager should know the security plans of the provider for different services, right? Because before the connection is established between the consumer and provider, consumer should understand the security feature provided by the provider. Fifth point is monitor capability planning and scaling capability. The manager should know the capability planning in order to ensure whether the cloud provider will meet the future capacity requirement for this business or not. It is also required to manage scaling capability in order to ensure service can be scaled up or scaled down as per the user need. If your demand is higher, you can scale up your resources, you can scale up your data, or if your demand is low, then you can scale down according to the your need. You can scale up and scale down your services. Sixth is monitor, audit, log use. In order to identify the error in the system, manager must audit the logs on regular basis. Seventh is the solution testing and validation. It is necessary to test the solution provided by the vendor in order to validate that it gives the correct result and is error free. It is necessary for the system to be robust and reliable. These are the point which is described in the diagram contains the cloud management tasks. These are the tasks of the cloud management. Enough for today. In a next lecture, we will discuss about the resiliency in cloud computing. Thank you.